G'day folks, it's me, Greg. We're back. It's Friday Lunch and Learn. I'm in a different spot today. I haven't got my camera things on because I've got this nice picture behind me, so I thought I'd just leave it. We are doing some data engineering in Fabric today because I kind of think Fabric's an interesting platform and I want to learn more about it. And I thought that would be fun. And so we've got some bits and pieces that we still need to do for our weather visual, probably the last piece that we're going to do on the weather visual. So I'm going to share my screen and we can have a quick look. So the weather visual, that's this one. Hopefully you'll remember this. Did this a couple of weeks ago, and we've only got data up to the year 2019. Now it's the year 2023, so we want our most recent 4 years of data. So what I wanted to do was just build a little data engineering solution that would help me get that data and put it into my visual here. And that's about it. Pretty simple, hopefully. We'll have to repoint the visual to the new data set. There's probably a few bits and pieces we need to set up in Fabric, but that's the plan. We'll see how far we get or whether we need multiple sessions to make this happen. Hopefully it'll be relatively straightforward, but I am using tools in Fabric that I'm not 100% familiar with, so there'll be a little bit of that. I was thinking about using Python for this as well, and so maybe I'll foray into the Python world. We'll see. There's probably a few different ways we can skin this cat, so to speak. All right, so where do we get the data from? That's the first place. So this is Bureau of Meteorology data. So that lives here in the Bureau of Meteorology climate/data area. It is they have all the data for all of the different observation areas in the BOM, right? So we can get weather and climate data, we can get rainfall data, we can get temperature data, or we can get solar exposure data. Now, the ones that we got are rainfall and temperature. So they're the two that we've got. And you can see here, I can look in my local area. I can pick one of the areas, and then it gives me all the stations associated with that area, the Melbourne Botanical Gardens station, for example, which is the one that we'll use. So 086232 is going to be the one. Now, if we have a look at the temperature data, hopefully we can get observations at the same or similar area. So there's one at Olympic Park. Doesn't look like there's one in the Botanical Gardens for temperature. So we'll take the one from, say, Olympic Park instead. And hopefully that's got data. And that's only got data going back a little while. Maybe we'll have a look at some slightly different data. This has got data going back to 2000. This is a nifty little visual to show us which data is available. This has got good data and then it drops off. So that's no good. Oh, here we go. This has got a bit ViewBank. Maybe we'll use ViewBank. Oh, maybe we'll use the RAAF. Yeah, RAAF. You can always rely on them to have data. Okay, so we'll use this one, 087031. Probably should make a note of this somewhere. We'll remember the RAAF, that's for temperature. And we'll use, maybe there's the same RAAF base. That'll be good. Come on, RAAF. No. Okay, and we'll use Botanical Gardens then for our other data, which has got data going back to 1999, and it's got up to today, which is what we want. Okay. There's no 2024, is there? No. Cool. All right. That wouldn't make sense. So we need to be able to get the data from here. Now, I was playing around with this a little bit earlier because I remember last time I did this, I thought, so I can get the data for a single station, which is this one. And then there's this all years of data link here. And then if I copy this link and we have a look at it, it's just it's just a standard get call, and then they've got these parameters. What's the display type? So there's daily zip data file. What type of thing is it? I don't know what this parameter is. That could be like a ladder along, maybe. This is the observation code 136, so that's for temperature, say. And then this is the start year is 2023. And then this is the station number here, 086232. So my original plan was to parameterize all of this and then get it all to just automatically download directly from the BOM. Now, they have got data scraping protection in place on this website, which is probably a good thing, so that you don't all go down and start smashing their servers and taking all their data away. So unfortunately, we can't do that. So we're going to have to do the first step manually. I'll work on a solution to this. I have some ideas I think we can probably do, but I don't know if I should do them on YouTube. But there's potentially some ways you can get around that type of thing, because it does work if you just click on it in the browser. That's your clue. If you're a browser, it works. So you can see the download works, no worries if you just click on it. So you can think about that as a solution. If anyone's got any ideas, feel free to put them in the chat, but I probably can't share them here, and I won't be doing this part. So what we'll do is we'll download the zip files, we'll put them in our OneLake storage, and then we'll process the zip files from there using Fabric, so that we can see the whole solution except for the downloading part. So I've downloaded all years for the daily rainfall. I just need to go back and now download the temperature data. So we'll do that. Temperature. So we've got max temp and min temp. So we do have to download both of them. We're going to go with Melbourne RAAF, Laverton. And that's max temperature. So go down here, 2023. That's the right station number. I just have to remember the station number, 087031. All user data, download. Okay, so that's 087031, 086363, okay, and then the last one is min temperature. So we selected this one here, min temperature. And we get thing, get data. Our observation number should change, which is because we're now looking at in min. So the observation code is 123. And then if you look at the max temperature, the observation code is 122. So we have got a different observation number, which is good. Okay, I don't know where I downloaded those. Let me check. Where does it live? I click this button, it'll show me, hopefully. In downloads, I'll move them to my OneLake. I've got hopefully got a workspace for it to work in. Let me refresh this. How does one refresh their OneLake view preview? I wonder to myself. Lakehouse demo, Wacky Workspace, KQL Workspace, HR Fabric Solutions, Fabric Playground. I just deleted Fabric Playground. All right. Well, they might need a new workspace. Although I've got a workspace, I'm sure. Weather. It's the weather data workspace. There it is. You can say browse. I'll just upload the data this way. No, wait, I can't. Can I do that? I can't do that. I need my OneLake data hub. Although I have to add I can't remember how to do this. I don't know why I can't remember how to do this. Surely this is like do I add a lake house first and then it gives me I think I like add a lake house. That's what it'll be. Add show all lake house, because that's what we want to use. And we'll call this weather data. Okay, so I would need to, because I wanted to expose my data, my files in OneLake, I need to first add a lakehouse for the files to go into. So now what should happen is I should be able to look in my OneLake at some point, and weather data should show up here. Although it might take a little while to refresh. Is there a sync button, just like OneDrive? Yes, sync. Come on, OneLake. There it is, weather data. Okay, great. And then we have our lakehouse, and then we want to put it into our files area. So this is the piece we could theoretically build something that drags that. If we figured out how to bypass the web scraping prevention, we could pull something that pulls those zip files down into here. But to bypass this, I'm just going to manually copy them. So go to our thing, we'll get our last 3 observations, head back to our weather data files and pop them in there. Okay, I'm just going to remove this number 3 from the back end of this one because I downloaded it 3 times, but I don't really need the 3 there, just to keep it all consistent. I don't know if that's going to be a problem or not. I just thought I'd do. So we've got IDC GAC 0009, 0011, 0010. Maybe they're the different observation codes as well, because they are different, I guess. And then here's the station number. So we get 2 from station, this one, and then 1 from station there. So we can actually potentially use those to identify stuff. All right, we have copied data into our file area. So now what we should be able to do is, I'll refresh here as well. We should be able to hopefully pull these. Now, the reason why I intentionally left them as zip files and I didn't extract them is I want to practice. This is something I wanted to practice to see, can we extract a zip file using a fabric activity? So I guess there's 2 possible ways we could approach this. One is we could use Python to extract the zip file using like a notebook. The other way would be, I think we can do it using a pipeline, using in the copy data situation, you can do like a binary extract thing. And if I get stuck, I'm just going to ask ChatGPT how to do it. And I might do that anyway, just to see what they suggest. But right now we've got some files living in our lakehouse. We want to turn them into tables. That's basically what we want to do. But the first thing we'll need to do is extract them potentially into another file area. So maybe what I should do is make a subfolder. And we can call this raw. We'll create another subfolder and we'll call this processed. Or is there a better name? Transformed? No, we'll call it processed. We'll put the zip files in raw and then we'll put the other files in processed, like once they've been processed. Okay. So I'll go back to one lake view because it's probably a bit easy to move these files around here. Resync. Okay, we've got our new folders. My stuff's acting up a bit, sorry. Move that into raw. Okay, and what we should then get is 3 zip files in our raw data load, in our raw data download area. Cool. Everything's working so far, but we haven't really done anything yet. Okay, so the first technique I want to practice then is I want to see if we can build a pipeline that pulls that zip data out of raw, unzips it, and puts it into process. That's the first plan. Let's see if we can do that. So we'll go into data engineering mode. So we go down here into our Power BI area, change it from Power BI to data engineering. That gives us this slightly different view. I'm going to create a new data pipeline. I'm going to call this raw zip to processed. Okay, we've got a raw pipeline here. Now I'm not going to use the copy data, what are they called, wizard here, because I probably just want to use a raw pipeline activity. I just want to have a quick look here and see what I can do. I'm pretty sure it's just a straight copy data activity, but maybe not. Okay, so we set the source to be our lakehouse, weather data, lakehouse. The root folder is files. The file path is, I guess, /raw. And we got to pick one of the files. Does it have to be files raw, or is it will just raw work? I wonder to myself. Okay, here's the file name. Oh, I can hit browse. Let's see what it does. Okay. Yeah, okay. So it is just raw there. That's good. You put in file wildcard pipe. I guess I could maybe create wildcard this and create a pipeline that processes all of the files, but let me just try this first. Does it need to be recursive? We don't need to really worry about that, I don't think. Probably doesn't. But now it's saying binary, which is right because it's a zip file. Now can I? Yes. Zip deflate. Compression level, fastest or optimal? Let's use optimal. Advanced, last modified, preserve zip file name as folder. Okay, so it's going to, so that's cool. It uses binary decompress to decompress the zip file, preserve the file name as folder. Do I want to, do I want to do that or not? I think I do. Let me see what happens. So it's going to have this big long old name here. And then our destination is going to be our processed folder. Yeah, we have to create a new table, I guess. Or to a file. What do you think I should do? Should I try and push it straight to a Parquet format, or should I push it out to some kind of file format first? I guess that is a file format, but you know what I mean, like a table, like a delta table. I'm going to try and create just straight up delta table. Let's call this, which one is which? Let's call it weather data. I'm going to call this 09 because that's the name of the observation number here, this 999. And then we can figure out whether it's the temperature or the rainfall later. Okay, and we want to append new stuff, or no, we want to overwrite. So I'm setting this up so that if I run this pipeline and I download a new version of the data, it'll overwrite the previous table because this is going to be a download of all years. So I don't need it to append new files as we go. Do I need any partitions? I'm going to leave partitions for now. Okay. There's no mapping because it's binary. It's just going to, I guess it's just going to extract it. What's going to happen? Is it going to extract it and pump it into a table? Or is it not going to work and I need to pump it into a file? Oh, I'm so curious. Intelligent throughput optimization. You choose order. The optimal setting is based on your data source, pair, and pattern. 2 to 2. Okay, I don't know anything about that. How much parallelism? Okay, don't know about that. Fault tolerance, logging. Okay, I don't think I need to do anything there. All right. Is there any other settings? No. Oh, no, cancel. Validate. Sync must be binary when the source is binary. Well, that answers that question. Sync must be binary. So it has to be a file. And we want to browse. And we're setting it to processed. And we say, okay. And then we say, what if I leave the file name blank? Will it automatically use the file name? Oh, I don't know. Let's go with it. I'm just going to leave it as processed. See what happens. Copy behavior. Flatten or preserve? Flatten. Max concurrent connections, that doesn't matter. Don't think that will matter too much. And validate. No errors. And should we give it a nice name? How do we rename this thing? Can I show lineage? No, general. Here it is. What are we calling this? Raw zip to processed copy. Run. Save and run. Successfully running. And it started without failing. Less than 1 second, being queued. You see this happen in real time? What's happening in there? Anyone got any good suggestions for me? Well, I'll have a quick look at the chat. No suggestions. All right. Everybody's quietly paying attention. Nice work. Refresh. Succeeded. Okay. So if I go back to my data lake and go to processed, does that mean there'll be something in here? Oh, there is. There's an Excel spreadsheet with a really long name, .csv. Cool. So it at least, without complaining, extracted my zip file for me. That's very useful to know that it can do that. I assume this is something that ADF can just do as well, but I've never actually done it using a pipeline. And we've got, this is rainfall, okay? There's our rainfall, yeah. What's this? Period over which rainfall was measured. Oh, okay. Should always be 1 day, right? Yeah. Data quality, yes. And it starts in 1964, but we're only going to get the most recent few years. So we'll worry about that later. Okay, so we've got a good CSV file here. Cool. Okay, so the steps will be then run the extract and then pull the CSV files out of processed and process them into a proper table. A rainfall table, a max table, and a min table. And then we'll point our Melbourne weather visual at those tables, and then everything will be working. Cool. Win. So is it better to wildcard this, parameterize it, and then run this one copy data process over all 3 files? Or is it better to do them all separately? Because couldn't I just do like wildcard folder name? So this would be like raw, and then this would be star dot. Can I do that? Star dot zip. And then destination just into processed. And my destination's overwrite. Copy behavior is flattened, but that didn't really matter. But now what happens if I run it? Is it going to complain? Save and run. Running. Queued. Queued. 14 seconds. In progress. Still in progress. Succeeded. Didn't complain. Refresh. I'm going to go back here, I think, and say resync. Well, it's taken a while because of the whole Teams, and anything while Teams is running dynamic where it takes forever. Okay, here's our lakehouse. files, processed, more files. Yes. Hey, did it give it a new, does it give it a new GUID every time? It must. So this one at the bottom is the one that I processed first. And then these ones are new ones. So it's just giving it a GUID name. I thought that would be what the, so what does it look like inside that zip file? Let's go back to the zip file. Oh, sorry. Files raw, right? Yeah, so so it doesn't retain the original name of the CSV file. It gives it a new GUID. Is that bad or good? I think that's okay, but that's interesting. That's interesting to know that's the behavior. So it'll rename the file to a new thing. And it's got just data and then underscore and then a giant GUID. Wonder if that GUID represents like the different pipeline. If that's a pipeline GUID or something, or if it's not, it's not. It's just a randomly generated thing. Look how long it is, man. That's a long GUID. Wonder if there's information in there. I don't know. Okay. So we have extracted the CSV file from, now we're going to get, okay, so let me think about this just logically. So when I download my zip, I dump a new zip file in, then I process this GUID, it's going to give me new CSV files, and there's no way of identifying them. Is there? So we need to fix that, because I need to know which one of these files to process next into the rainfall table or into the max or the min table. Okay, so we need to figure out how to do that. All right, we're getting close. So it says start.zip, pops it in binary, preserve zip file name as the folder. Didn't really do that though, did it? Maybe it's a destination thing. See, what I'd like to be able to do is have the name, I'd like to retain the original name. I don't know if there's a way to do that though. Processed, binary, not settings. Oh, this is the compression type in the destination. Oh, you could get it to rezip it, I guess. Okay, yeah, we don't. Delimited text. No, I think it said that binary has to be binary output, doesn't it? Okay. All right, so you got two choices in this situation. You could run them all like this and then figure it out later. I don't know if that would be ideal or not. Or you could run three separate pipelines. One for one for the other, one for the other. It just depends on what you want to do. I think I'm going to run the three separate ones because I want to explicitly name the file, and I don't know how to do that with this wildcard situation. So this one I know is going to be rainfall. So then I can say my destination is going to be processed rainfall. Like that. What happens if I do this now? Let that run. Queued into the Fabric world. So Fabric is going to go GA in October the 1st, apparently. So my 59-day trial will start counting down, I guess. And I'll have 60 days to actually cough up or delete all my workspaces. So yeah, I'll probably will get one Fabric Fabric workspace anyway, so that we can keep doing Fabric stuff in Lunch and Learns. And I want to have Fabric stuff for the business as well. So yeah, I think I will get it, but yeah, it'd be interesting to see what happens with this trial date. Okay, that succeeded. What happened this time? Refresh. Anything? Oh, I need to resync, I guess. Sync from OneLake. Now I just get a blob file that's 5K. So is that the text file? Interesting. What's in here? This is the text file. Okay, I think I know what I need to do. So that's interesting. It only gave me, didn't add the CSV file at all. So in my copy data activity, I need to set my destination to be like this: /process/rainfall, and then leave the file name like that. Save. Then this will put this one into the rainfall folder, which is how I want it to be structured, so that there's a folder for each unique type of data, and then I can just process that folder. I can delete the text files out of it, process just the CSV files out of the folder, which will all be the same structure, and then we can get our tables out. Okay, that's succeeded. Go back to here and resync. You gonna work for me, or are you gonna be annoying? Processed. Oh, maybe that didn't work. Or did my sync not work? Ah, did work. Okay. I was like, if that didn't work, I didn't know what the solution was. All right, now I've got a rainfall folder with my rainfall data sitting in here. So then I'll create one for max temp and min temp, and then we'll go on to the next step. Can I duplicate this? Yes, copy. And then paste. And then paste again. All right. And we'll call this, we'll change this name now to rainfall. Copy. And we'll call this one max temp copy. And we'll call this one in temp copy. And if we want these to run one after the other, we can make little arrows like that. So they'll run now in sequence instead of running all at the same time. So if we didn't put those arrows in, it would run all three simultaneously. Because I put the arrows in, it's now going to run them in sequence, which is how I want it to be. Okay, so I just need to change the sources to be the new source. I assume this is max temp, and I assume the other one's min temp. I might have them around the wrong way, but it doesn't matter too much. And we change our destination to be /max temp. Hopefully that's right. Save that. And in this one, our source, we're going to browse here and select the last one, number 11. And we're going to change our destination to be /min temp. And save. quickly validate that it's all good. Looks like it's all good. I'm going to run that pipeline one more time. Have a look in our little processed area. I might delete some of these files out of here now that we've got a proper solution. Oh, something was open in Excel. We'll skip that one. This guy. A little bit of cleanup while we're waiting. See if that pipeline's finished now. Refresh, refresh, refresh. It's been queued for a bit longer, I guess, because it's a bigger pipeline activity now. Or maybe everyone's doing this at the same time as me and we're queuing each other out of it. I can use dynamic settings to use the original file name. Potentially, yeah, potentially. Maybe we'll have a quick look at that while we're waiting for the thing to run. So what Andrew's talking about there is in our destination, it says add dynamic content here. This is where you put in different variables and stuff. The pipeline name or the workspace ID. So if you wanted to add in that, I wonder if you could bring the original file path in as one of the variables, or you could pipe this source name out as a variable. Yeah, I'm not 100% sure. Does it have the pipeline trigger name, the pipeline name? See, I don't see the original file name here as a possible one, but yeah, we might be able to parameterize it somehow. Or you could write maybe a custom function that does it as well, like, concat the pipeline name in. But yeah, if you need to do any of that kind of advanced dynamic content here, then that's exactly what you would do. You would add it in using this dynamic content. All right, that run succeeded. There's a nice little notification to let me know while I was looking elsewhere. So we can go back now and resync our One Lake. I kind of like this folder view rather than looking at it on the cloud. I don't know. This is just how I use OneDrive as well. So hopefully those 3 folders will appear. They have. Let's see if I guessed right. Have a look in the min-temp folder and have a look at the preview, I guess, of this CSV file. Is it going to preview for me? Nope. Gotta look in there. I guess the text file would have it too, but anyway. Hey, it is min temperature. Hooray, I got it right. So minimum temperature, that was what we wanted. So min temp is in the min temp folder. Now, what we should have, I'll make sure I close these now. What we should have is 2 in the rainfall folder, right? We do. So these are the 2 most recent downloads. I'm not bad with that because then I can, if I mess up, I can always just process an old version of the file. I'm only ever going to download this zip files like once a year, probably, or not very often at least. It's not like the sort of thing where I wanted to get the most recent stuff. If I needed to do it every day, then I'd probably process it incrementally. I'd only download a day at a time. Whereas in this case, I just want to pull the whole year, the whole history down and just do a full load. So kind of the simplest version of a data pipeline, I guess. All right, so in our processed area, we now have some CSV files living in nice organized folders, which is good. So the next step is to take each one of these CSV files, min temp, max temp, and rainfall, and create Parquet delta tables for each one of those CSV files. And that's what we'll be pointing our Power BI to. Do I want to do anything else over the top of it, like put some other stuff? No, I think it's probably right, probably okay. So I think I'll continue using, I'll make this a data factory style. So I'll continue to use pipelines to do this. And then maybe we'll do the same thing again with Python another time. Because I think you could do pretty much this whole activity with pipeline. Instead, you would just run a notebook here as your activity, and then you just run all your Python or PySpark stuff in notebook, and you could do that too. But let's continue on with this solution. So Once this is completed, we want to then run, well, I'm tempted to run a notebook here and just process them, but no, let's continue with this. I want to see if I can do it. We run another activity, which I guess is another copy data activity, where we set the sync now to be a delta table. That's got to be right. And we pick it up from a CSV file. All right, so let's do that. So we'll add a new copy data. We'll call this rainfall delta. Our connection is going to be in our workspace. It's going to be in weather data. We're going to pick it up from a file. The file is going to be in our processed. Now here's what I have to think about. This is rainfall. I want to pick up the most recent CSV file, right? The most recent CSV. Well, let's just pick up a file first, and then if we get time, we'll come back to this most recent, because that would be dynamic potentially. We'd have to pick up the most recent one somehow. Anyway, so we'll just point at a raw file for now. File format is delimited text. What else does it give me? Yeah. Don't need any partitions or anything. And then our destination, is it going to be a lake house? We're going to create a new table. It's going to be a table. We'll create a new table. We're going to call this rainfall. And we'll make it an overwrite table. Enable partition. It won't enable any partitions. Okay. Now we can do mapping. So let's import the schemas. Hopefully it'll import okay. It does. So we've got a product code, this Bureau of Meteorology station number, a year, a month, a day, a rainfall amount, a period over which rain. Now the question is, can we have spaces in our destination? Doesn't a delta table require it to be no spaces? So maybe I'll make this like this. Station. Oh, should we put in underscores? Never know whether to put in underscores or not. Tell me if you like underscores or not. Station, no. Product. I'll use underscores, and then you can tell me if you hate it. And then yeah, we'll make it lowercase. I like lowercase data tables. Month, day, rainfall, underscore millimeters, period, quality. Okay, don't need any settings. There's my mappings. Destination is good. Source is good. Everything's good. Let's make that happen after this. So it's going to load all three. It doesn't really matter. This could be a whole new pipeline, actually. Maybe I will make it as a new pipeline and then trigger them differently. Yeah, I'll keep it all one pipeline for now. It makes it easier. So we'll reload, then we'll have 3 files and 2 in each, but that's fine. I can live with that. Okay, validate. All good. Save and run. Who likes underscores? Create a pipeline for the, you can create a parameter for the pipeline with the original path. Yeah, there you go. And then use it in the dynamic content. Thanks, Raj. I knew you could do something like that. That's going to run. While that's running, I might just quickly copy these and make the other tables. This is going to be called min temp delta. Processed. Let me browse, it'll be easier. in temp. Choose one for now, make it dynamic later. Limited text, that's all good. And then we want our table to be a new table called min temp. And our mapping, import the schemas again. That runs successful, so we'll check it out. Oh, I picked the wrong file, obviously. The text file. I meant to choose a CSV file. Okay. Destination, that's cool. Mapping, import schemas. Okay, product underscore code. POM underscore station number. Year, month, day, in temp, days. I call this period as well. Quantity. Okay, that all looks good. Create my little on completion, do this. Min temp delta, and then this one's going to be called max temp delta. Source is going to be a browse. Make sure we get the CSV file. Max temp. Yeah, the problem with these really long GUID names is you're going to get different, like it's hard to see whether it was a CSV or a text earlier. Anyway, change that one to be the right one, go to destination, create a new delta table for us called max temp, hit create. And that's it, simple as that. Still not perfect, but it's getting there. What I'll do is we'll reprocess the whole pipeline soon because I want to practice with some stuff. Okay. So we're going to create our rainfall delta, our min temp delta, our max temp delta tables inside our thing, and it should just append over the top. I mean, it should overwrite over the top each time, so we're not going to keep appending. Even though we keep appending the CSV files, we'll fix that. That'll be the thing that we potentially fix last. We'll do this, we'll point the Power BI file at the new tables, and we'll get it so that it's always updating. And then what we should be able to do is just dump our zip files into this folder whenever we want, run the pipeline, it should just work. That's what I'm hoping anyway. All right, save. Invoke pipeline. Oh, you can invoke another pipeline, of course. All right, that is good to go. We now need to run it one last time. Let's check our Delta Lake and see if we've actually got the tables in here now. So we should have one table, right? Ooh, I don't see a table. Is that bad? Does that mean it hasn't worked? Yeah, we should have one rainfall table, shouldn't we? I would have thought we should. Let's go back to our pipeline. Rainfall copy succeeded. That's showing the different activity names. That's cool. I didn't have a green tick against rainfall delta. Maybe it hadn't run yet. Might just be me. So I quite like this UI, right? It tells us which one it's running and where it's up to. And so I guess this one's going to run next. Oh no, I've used the wrong arrow. Yeah, sorry about that. If it's skipped, yeah, sorry about that. So I've set it so that it was never going to work. Well, that was smart. What should we do? Can we run from here? Or can I only run from like the start? I guess I can only run from the start. All right, I'll just rerun it. Apologies for that. I've only got one screen today, so I keep having to swap over. I can't see the chat. Actually, I can put the chat on my phone. That's always good. Let me do that. Yeah, now I can see the chat without having to swap screens. Takes a little while to run, though, I have to say, but I guess it doesn't really matter if you're doing this in the middle of the night. And if you've got a good fabric capacity, it probably runs okay. Arun, if we get a new name for the process files every time, then the Delta will pick up the latest files. Yeah, that's what I want to try and figure out next. I wanted to get it to pick up the latest files. And so that's got to dynamically look at the most recent file name, file date, I guess, and only pick that one up. There's probably a few different ways you can handle that. Or you could just append them all together and give them like a version number and let Delta sort it out, I guess. But yeah, I think I'd want it to be, yeah, it only picks up the most recent version, the most recent CSV file in each one of those, CSVs. Or I just want that copy to hard write the CSV file name in that zip extraction. But because it's a zip extraction, that's why I'm confused. Normally what you would do is you would just give it a name, right, as a part of the copy, because it's extracting two files as a part of the zip. When I gave it a name, it only gave me the text file. It didn't give me the second file. So there must be some way of iterating through the files or something. I don't know. We'll do a little bit of investigation on that after this pipeline run. That's kind of what I'm curious to learn. I might just actually, let's just ask ChatGPT while we're waiting. Okay, we are creating a pipeline in ADF. I don't think I need to tell it what ADF is. It'll work it out. Extracting a zip file with TXT and CSV file in it. We'd like to get the pipeline to. The reason why I'm telling it ADF and not Fabric is because it won't know about Fabric. It's Fabric is too new. Although I was thinking of using Bing, and then Bing should be able to look it up for us. But let's just see what this one says. Okay, I'd like to get the pipeline to create extract the CSV file with the same name each time into new sync folder. How should we approach this? Bad spelling, but we don't care. Okay, put a filter or a lookup activity with the date modified property on the source folder. Yeah, and pick only the most recent files. That makes sense. Yeah, so I figured it'd be something like that. So you're looking at the most recent date based on some kind of field. So you do a lookup first. Okay. Okay, you should have an Azure. This is what my old mate's telling me. Activities for complex. Okay, you should have a necessary Azure Data Factory resources provision. A link to the services provided to the location. So we've done that. A sync linked service where we want to put it. We've already got that. Okay. Create a new pipeline, drag and data, yeah, do from move and transform, yep. In copy data, select the link service pointing to the zip file, yep. Select binary, yep, we've done that. In the sync tab, choose the location to save the zip file, yep. ADF cannot directly extract a specific file from a zip. Instead, we need to copy the zip to a location where it can be unzipped, yep. Now another copy data. So first it just copies a zip file, so we got that bit. Then it uses, okay, so in ADF it's called zip deflate, but we used whatever the fabric version of that was to unzip the file. Set the file type to wildcard file type in the source tab as star.csv. Specify the name of the CSV file you want to extract. And then you sync the CSV only. Reserve hierarchy, in case we want it yet. Once they're set up, so we're going to debug to test the pipeline and clean up. Okay, so it thinks that you can specify star.csv within the source and it will pick up only the CSV files out of the zip file. I don't know if that's right, but how are we going? Oh, it's just finishing. Failed. Max temp delta. Oh, you know why? I didn't do the mapping, did I? Oh, I did do the mapping. Did I not import the right schema? Nope, I didn't import the right schema. I wish I could just run one step in my pipeline. That feels annoying that I can't. So we'll see if I can make those changes anyways. Bomb underscore station number. Yeah, so I remember I copied these from the rainfall, and so it still had the rainfall columns. That's what I think the issue is. So I'm just redoing the schema. I'm assuming that will say the schema, the column rainfall wasn't found or something like that. Max temp. This was period, and this is quality. Okay, let's save. Let's look at our run history and see what the issue was. Error. Column name not found in source. Rainfall amount millimeters. Yep, I was right. Okay. So that should now work. Maybe I'll can I just rerun this step from here? Or is that too advanced and cool? Rerun. Oh, I can. Rerun from the selected activity. This is what we want. Are you sure you want to rerun from there? Yes, I do want to rerun from there. So that's cool. You can go back into your history of pipelines and then rerun the pipeline. Oh, so it skips these activities and then reruns. That's nifty. Is that really what happens? Yep, sure does. Skip, and then runs this one. Cool. All right, happy about that. Happy. Okay, while we're doing that, let's go back to rainfall. So we want it from here. Oh no, so it's about this. .csv. No, I want the rainfall copy to sync this. Yeah, see, so it doesn't make sense. I want to sync the CSV file in here, don't I? Just to be always the same name. Can I just say rainfall.csv and see if that works? But how does it select the CSV file and not the text file from the source out of the zip? Ugh, so confusing. I'm going to look that up in the meantime. We're out of time, so I won't be able to solve that this time, but I'll look it up and we'll talk about it next time. We'll do a little bit of data engineering stuff for the next few weeks because I think it's kind of fun. I'll try that suggestion for the lookup activity as well, right? Oh, did it fail again? Or is that just me not looking at the right? Oh, no, it's still running. Still running. Don't panic. Still running. All these notifications I can clear. In the meantime, let's look at the lake house because at least a couple of them should appear now as tables. Yay, there they are. Oh, look, maybe all of them. Did that just say it completed? It did successfully run just before I refreshed it. That's perfect. Okay, so now we've got a max temp folder, or table, I should say. Loading, loading, loading. I might need to choose a different one for preview because maybe that one's only just created. Oh, come on, preview, you can do it. Yay, look at the data. And there is actual data in there, hooray. Max temp. And so then the simple solution after that, I think, is I do some stuff here in my query. So I've got min temp and max temp and rainfall. And they go to a different spot at the moment. I'll need to fix that. I think I need to change this to Greg Nash. Or is it just Greg? Nope. Marketing social, okay. Marketing, social, weather. Which one am I? I don't know which one I was looking at. Rainfall. So I'll have to do a little bit. You can see it's got exactly the same structure here, right? But I will have to do, or it'll take me a little bit too long to do here. All I need to do is point this rainfall table, get rid of, so change this source to be the data lake source. So I would go in here and add in the Fabric data lake. Can you just type Fabric these days? Will it? No. Can you put in data lake? No. It's like a special connection still. Oh, here it is, Fabric data flow. Anyway, we'll do that. I'll connect in these three tables, and then that will be connected through the Fabric, and then I can just download the zip file, dump it in the thing, run the pipeline, and get it. It's almost there. So next week we'll get all that up and running, and we'll sort out all that file name, getting the latest version of the files up and running. So we're pretty close. That's going to have to be it because it's the end of lunchtime and you have to go back to work and it's Friday. So yeah, have a good weekend. Thanks for joining me. It's great to see you all. We'll catch up again next week. We'll do a little bit more Fabric data engineering. We'll keep doing Fabric until it goes GA and celebrate the fabricness that is Fabric. So if you're interested in the data engineering side, we'll play around a little bit with notebooks and the Python side as well. Try and get our data engineering skills up and running. But yeah, that's it for today. Thanks very much, folks. We'll see you next time, and yeah, have a great weekend.